I'm seeing Kirk Cousins got a heads up that somebody like Kellen Mond could be coming. And he's been with the Vikings for like a hot minute compared to what Aaron Rodgers has been in that division.
Jimmy G got a heads up.
Jimmy G gets a heads up. Everyone gets a heads up.
Everyone's getting heads up.
Apparently,
Brady got a heads up that Kyle Trask might be coming.
Apparently, Andy Dalton was given a heads up by the Bears.
Andy Dalton was given a heads up.
Andy Dalton, QB1.
Now, that might all be born out of the fact that we're seeing how the non-heads up went down in Green Bay, like the old you-know-what in the church.
But Dalton's played exactly 0 snaps, and they gave him the courtesy.
Please. I mean, we understand, right? So what do I mean by I should have just stuck with my first sense? By the way, before we move on to that, every great deep dive, even though this is not like a lengthy deep dive, but any sort of piece that takes a deeper dive behind the scenes of reporting and talking about a relationship that's turned sour, and then you get one nugget to hang your hat on, to one sort of story that you just can't get past. Here's that for this Bob McGinn report in The Athletic. According to sources, Rodgers has mocked Gutekunst in group chats with his teammates in Green Bay by referring to the GM as Jerry Krause. Oh, my gosh. He's the Jerry Krause. He's going to chase off the GOAT. Very rare can somebody say, I'm the Michael Jordan of this equation, and actually be it's okay for someone to say that. Rodgers referring to himself as the Jordan here. Jerry Krause going to chase off, break up the Packers. Last year was the last dance. Because according to this report, remember I said Rob Domofsky went on Dan Patrick's show yesterday and said that he put it at a 5% chance of Rodgers returning?
5%.
Well, we're now at milk. According to Bob McGinn, this is kind of his walk-off line here of the piece. Speaking purely from conjecture, a longtime friend of Rodgers, quoted as saying Monday, once he gets something in his head, he usually doesn't back down. Speaking purely from conjecture, the friend said he thought there would be just a 2% chance that Rodgers would ever play for the Packers again. What do I mean by what I should have stuck with? My first instinct. Chris, what did I say when the Super Bowl was over? That this was the spring of what? The spring of what in the NFL?
Of everyone looking at what Tom Brady did.
Bingo. Thank you for listening to me when I talk on the program. Unless TJ Jefferson's on, The Price is Right at the same time, or somebody's walking behind me.
Or it's the Masters.
I understand. But thank you in general for
listening. I'm your man.
I told y'all, Brady going to a new spot and having the new spot basically make front office maneuvers to fit Brady's sensibilities and desires within Brady's closing window of opportunity that seems to never close in the end game of his career. Seeing that all play out to the ultimate success. Seeing that happen in his house. First time ever having an NFC Championship game in his house. Saw it in person. Brady beating him. Let's remove Matt LaFleur, taking him off the field on 4th and goal. I told you. Russell Wilson having the same sense of, why do I have to keep doing it with the same coach every single year just the way he wants it? Look at Tom. He went somewhere else, finally, after 20 years of doing it successfully. He gave it a whirl. Look at it work out for him, according to Bob McGinn in this piece. Before that Jerry Krause nugget got dropped. This is the paragraph before that delicious Jerry Krause nugget. He says that according to his sources, it's a given that Rodgers has been monitoring Tom Brady's extraordinary first season in Tampa Bay and how Buccaneers management has involved him, if not catered to him, regarding personnel and other decisions. And it can't have helped the situation that after bouncing Rodgers in the NFC Championship game in Lambeau Field, that's all the Buccaneers have done is the same thing, and they're running it back. They got everybody back. You could sit here and say, well, Tom's Tom. But the Buccaneers are just like every franchise. They want to look over the steering wheel. They want to look in the future. Could they have gotten a different running back than Leonard Fournette? Could they have gotten a different fourth wide receiver, third wide receiver than Antonio Brown again? Could they have left maybe one or two of the defensive pieces off so they could plan for the future? Tom signs an extension. Sure, they could have. But they're all in on 12. And why not? Last year was a risk. Right now, it's just the smartest bet you can ever make on planet Earth, and use a second-round pick on Kyle Trask in Florida, giving Tom a heads up that that's coming, and he's probably sitting there saying, he's probably Mr. Chips. What do you want to know, Kyle? As long as you're sitting there while listening to me, you know what, Kyle? You can be in this video of me standing next to trophy number 8 next year while we're on the boat. Yeah. Maybe you can hand me the trophy when I flip it to the next boat.
You play with Tom Brady, you get a Super Bowl ring.
Right, Kyle, here's how it works. Here's how it works. You sit here, you watch how I do it, and then when we win again and I get so hammered, you grab my right elbow and then
walk me to safety.
And then walk me out. That's your job. That's your job.
Tom Brady's got to be the most confident man on earth when it comes to job security, right?
Yeah. Well, again, Aaron is seeing this, and it only makes it more difficult for him to wrap his arms around. Why can't I have that? The question is who will want it? Who will want it in June? Who will take it in June? You can sit there and say anybody. Oh, really? Because June 1 is when this thing's going to hit, when his cap charge is less and the trade will be more acceptable. Another reason why it didn't happen on draft night, other than the fact that it's going to take a million pieces to move to make it happen. Denver, sitting out there, they'll probably take it because you got to look outside the conference. I won't even go in that direction with Howie Roseman. You think you can send him to Philadelphia? They do have 3 firsts next year, or 2 firsts and one that's about to be a third. Howie's on in hour number 3.
Same teams that we thought would be in the mix for Deshaun Watson, right?
Who would it be, though? Denver, and who else? Who else would he go to say that he can win right now?
Cleveland.
Dude, they're not. No.
Are you kidding me? If you're Cleveland, why wouldn't you do it?
You ship Baker Mayfield out?
Yeah, see you later, bro.
Yeah, but they don't need the quarterback back. They got their quarterback. They don't need Baker Mayfield back. It's got to be a trade.
Packers fans would probably rather have Baker Mayfield than Jordan Love.
Dude, his whole thing is to get Jordan Love on the field. That's not a match. Cleveland's not a match. It's not a match.
For whom?
It's not a match. It's not a match for the Packers. It's not a match.
The Packers have no say.
So what
this is up to Aaron Rodgers right now.
I understand that, but go to Cleveland and then what? Baker, that's just no. They just picked up his 50-year option for $18 million. That guy's got to go be shipped to Green Bay. What, they're going to have that on their contract while Jordan Love gets out? That's not a match. You've got to have a spot that's just going to offer up defensive players and draft choices, and the quarterback could just walk in right now, week 1, let's go win a championship maybe in the next 2 years. That's why Denver screams out there. Do the Raiders scream that out? I don't know if Aaron would want to go there because are they ready to win now? Who would be the team? Boy, you know what? We have now until June to be talking about this because it sure looks like he's gone. Because the Green Bay Packers are like if this is the scenario that's being laid out here by Bob McGinn, and if Rodgers thinks that Jerry Krause has been reborn in the form of Brian Gutekunst, well, then the other thing to extrapolate out is the Packers are the Bulls organization that believes in Krause. They're not bouncing Brian Gutekunst after he's been groomed for the gig since 1998. They're not doing that. They'll just trade Rodgers away or let him stew or what have you, and then figure it out in the long term. Favre's showing up like he's still BFFs with a cheese head on his head, and that didn't look like that was going to happen when he's playing for the Vikings. You can figure this stuff down the road. Sure looks like he's gone. I still can't believe it. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.